What's up everybody, I'm Seth Fowler and today I've got an early review for a sneaker that I'm extremely excited for, the Court Purple Air Jordan 1s. Thanks so much for tuning in today. Make sure to hit that subscribe button down below if you haven't yet. Before I get into this awesome review that I'm just too hyped for, it's crazy, I want to give a huge thank you to StockX for sponsoring today's video. If you don't already know about StockX, which might be a little bit crazy if you're watching today's video, StockX is my go-to for all my sneaker buying and selling needs. Whenever I take an L on a sneaker release, which is pretty much every sneaker release, or whenever there's a sneaker grail that I've been wanting for years, StockX is where I go to first. I actually started using StockX right when they first came out because I was so sick of using Facebook groups and being worried about being scammed or going to places like Flight Club and spending way too much money. I just started working with them like 6 to 8 months ago, but I've been using them for like 2 years. The selection's insane. They have pretty much everything you could ever want. And one of my favorite things is that the prices of the sneakers usually are the best that you can find. But the main reason I buy from StockX is because every pair of sneakers that's purchased through them is actually legit checked in hand by one of their employees, so you know that any pair that you receive from them is guaranteed to be authentic. So not only do they have an incredible selection and great prices, everything you buy through them is legit. On the other side of the coin, if you sell through StockX, which I do probably 2 to 3 times a week, StockX makes the selling process incredibly easy. All you have to do is search for the pair of sneakers that you want to sell, and then you're given 2 options, which is either take the highest bid so you can sell the sneakers immediately to the person offering the most money, or if that offer is not exactly what you're looking for, you can actually set your own price so that whenever someone comes along and is willing to pay that price, you can sell your sneakers to them. So you can either get that instant payout or wait for the price that you're willing to let your sneakers go for. But when it comes to me, whenever I'm buying or selling sneakers, StockX is always the first place that I go to, and it has been even before they sponsored me. And so that's why when it came to an early release like the Court Purples, StockX is the place that I went. So if you're interested in checking out StockX for yourself, or maybe even grabbing a pair of the Court Purples early, make sure to click the link in the top of the description. But with all of that out of the way, let's get into it. I'm sure many of you who have been watching my channel for a while know that the Air Jordan 1 silhouette is my favorite silhouette of all time. There are some shoes like the Ultra Boost and other Jordan silhouettes that have almost made that sort of top spot a couple times, but nothing's ever really beaten out the Air Jordan 1 for me. So whenever Jordan Brand releases a brand new Jordan 1 high colorway, I'm always intrigued. And I mean, I know it's not December, I know it's not Christmas, but it feels like Christmas because next weekend we get 2. And both of these colorways are fire. It's incredible. I'm sure by now you've probably seen them. We've got the Pine Green colorway and the Court Purple colorway. It's rumored that the Pine Green is going to be the more available of the 2 colorways. However, I don't think it's going to be that easy to get, if easy at all. Both of these Air Jordan 1s have shattered backboard or bread toe color blocking, which I think is incredible. A lot of my favorite Air Jordan 1s have had that color blocking, so I think that these 2 colorways are probably going to be somewhere up in the top 10 for me. And there's been a lot of Air Jordan 1s releasing over the last like 30 some years, so that's saying something. I love the green on the Pine Green colorway, but there's something about purple, and it's always been one of my favorite colorways, so to see it on an Air Jordan 1, like the Court Purple Air Jordan 1s, I had to have it. As some of you guys probably know, I grew up in Baltimore and I'm a huge Ravens fan. Joe Flacco! It's actually kind of funny because the shattered backboard ones right back up there are sort of Orioles colored, so I've got both teams covered. The Court Purple ones are rumored to be pretty limited, so if you do want to grab a pair, hit up StockX, enter whatever raffles you can because it's not going to be easy. I'm going to be completely honest, I think this could actually be one of the best releases of the entire year. But enough of the small talk, let's jump right into the sneaker. Here it is, the Air Jordan 1 Court Purple. So first thing you'll notice about the sneakers that I obviously mentioned before is that the color blocking of this shoe very closely resembles that of the shattered backboards or the bread toe ones, meaning that it's sort of like the black toe ones, except rather than having a white toe or a toe that matches the midfoot, it actually has one of its brighter colors on the toe. In this case, we've got this really nice looking deep purple, or Court Purple as Nike's calling it. I know something that's important to a lot of people, or is compared by a lot of people on the Air Jordan 1, is the leather quality. The leather quality on the shoe is it's okay. The purple sections are okay. They've got this light tumble texture. It's very similar to what you see on the bread toe ones. It's relatively soft. It'll definitely crease nicely as you wear the shoe, which is something that some people don't like, but I personally love. I think it gives the shoe character. And of course, the wrinkles in this rich purple do look really nice. The one thing I do notice though on this sneaker is that because the color of the leather is dark, you can actually see through to the material underneath the leather. And in this case, it's sort of a white mesh, so you get these sort of light white dots. It's not a huge deal and it doesn't look bad, but it is a little bit different than what you're probably used to on most Air Jordan Jordan 1s. Of course, around the edge of the toe, you've got this really smooth black leather mudguard. This combination of black and court purple just looks so good together. They are similar tones, but they separate themselves really nicely because of the hue of the color. As you continue up on the shoe, you get to these flat black laces that weave through another smooth leather panel with punched out eyelets. The black laces are the ones that come pre-started in the bottom eyelets of the sneaker, but if you don't like these black laces, you can also switch them out for purple laces, which match the rest of the upper. Just beneath the laces, you've got your standard Air Jordan 1 tongue in black. At the top of the tongue, you've got this really nice purple and white Nike Air tag. I didn't realize they were going to make the text white, which they also did actually on the small text on the back of the tag as well. And the fact that they did that really separates the tag from the rest of the upper and really makes it stand out, which I love. Inside the sneaker, you've got your standard Air Jordan 1 mesh in black. And then rounding off the inside of the shoe, you've got this pretty plain insole in white with the Nike Air branding printed on the heel in purple. As for fit, as I'm sure you probably already expected, the Air Jordan 1 court purple fits just like every other Air Jordan 1, which for me is true to size. For you, it might be something different, so I definitely would suggest if you don't already have a pair of Air Jordan 1s to try, go down to your local sneaker store, try on a pair first before you buy this pair to make sure the sizing is right for you. As you continue back on the shoe, you get to one of the nicest details on the entire sneaker, which is this really nicely tumbled white leather midfoot panel. You have to realize when it comes to leather quality, texture isn't always a great indicator. In a lot of cases on mass-produced items, especially things like shoes, this texture is actually rolled on or pressed into it. So sometimes, even though it looks like it's tumbled leather, it's sort of a fake texture that was added after the fact. But on sneakers, it's usually pretty easy to tell how decent a leather is by the actual feel of the leather. I'm sure you guys have felt leather Jordans that just feel like plastic, and you guys know that that just isn't good quality material. In this case, the midfoot panel does feel soft, and it does feel pretty good to the touch, so I would assume that it's better quality leather than what's usually used on Air Jordan 1s. Let's be honest though, mass-produced shoes never actually use premium leather, but this is definitely nicer leather than on most other sneakers. The white isn't exactly true white, it has a very slight cream hue to it, but it's definitely not as sort of cream colored as the shattered backboards. Smack in the middle of this midfoot panel, you've got this black Nike swoosh in that same sort of smooth leather that you find on the mudguard. Continuing back on the sneaker, you get some more of that purple leather on the heel counter and on the wing. As we've come to expect from ones, we've got the wings logo debossed into the lateral side in gloss black. Moving around to the back of the sneaker, you've got this really smooth black leather around the top of the ankle. Of course, the back of the Air Jordan 1s is where all the different leather panels sort of come together. It's always been one of my favorite parts of the shoe because it's got so many different color combinations. I just think it looks great. Moving down the sneaker, you get to your standard Air Jordan 1 midsole. This time around, it's in that same sort of ever so slight cream colored white as the midfoot panel. And then finally, moving to the bottom of the sneaker, you get to the court purple outsole. That's just such a nice color. I can't get over it. Overall, the Air Jordan 1 court purple, in my opinion, is one of the best releases for the entire second half of the year and possibly the entire year of 2018. That might be crazy to some people, but for me, as a huge Air Jordan 1 fan and as a Ravens fan, this is like my perfect shoe. Not only that, but the color blocking is on point, the leather quality is decent and definitely better than a lot of other Air Jordans that have released this year, and it's just a fire shoe. Like, I don't know what else to say. The court purple Air Jordan 1s release on Saturday, September 22nd for $160, or you can grab them right now on StockX. But that about wraps up the review for today. I'd love to know your thoughts on the court purple 1s and whether you're planning to pick up a pair when they release next Saturday. So of course, make sure to leave those comments in the comment section down below. Once again, huge thank you to StockX for sponsoring today's video. If you want to check out StockX for yourself and maybe grab a pair of court purples early, make sure to click that link in the description below. As always, thank you so much for watching. Please make sure to give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, subscribe down below if you haven't yet, and I'll see you all in the next one. Joe Flacco!